and just for a laugh, we used to have some messing about on Skype. In those days, Sapperken himself was drinking way too much while he was trying to produce radio at this time of the night. But we had people like Mel and Michael and Robert and Graham tune in and get on Skype. And we also had Natalie over there in Canada. Good evening, Natalie. I know you're tuned in right now. Nice to have you with us again. But right now we have got, from Payton, down in the southwest, we've got Mel. Mel operates the charity or CCI company We Sort It, which is a recycling company amongst other things. With him is Michael from Billy No Mates. If you look on Facebook, Billy No Mates, Michael runs a charity over in the Philippines helping homeless people out there. And I know Michael and Mel work very closely together for things like sleeping bags, walkers, Zimmer frame type things, walking sticks, and all other sorts of stuff that people in this country don't need anymore, but can be very easily reused over in the Philippines. Mel and Michael, good evening to the pair of you.
Oh, just had a swig of my port, mate. You caught me then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both here. We're pretty sober. We just want to get a few points over, mate, of what we've done over the last year since Michael was last here, and how you've improved your Veterans Radio Net program since we first started. It's been brilliant, mate, and well done.
Mate, go for it.
I'll put Michael on so he can give an introduction of what we've done and what we're going to do in the future, mate.
Go for it, fella.
Are
Hello?
you there, bro?
All right, mate.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yep. Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, I did, mate. Go for it. You put Michael on and let him have his say.
Yeah. Okie dokie. I'll put him on now, mate. Cheers. Hello, Ken.
All right, buddy. How you doing, mate?
Can you like Pet? Right. As you know, I'm down in Devon in the strange land with Mel Morton's the Wee Shorteds group.
Yeah, strange land with strange people. There you go.
Strange moonshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting because, as you know, last year I was working with Mel for about 4 weeks. This time I'll be down with him for about 2 months approximately. Probably those who don't know Wee Shorteds, they're involved in like recycling, which to stop all electrical goods and bulky items going into landfill. And one of the main things they've done, which I've observed, because I'm working with them, is helping those with disabilities. They look after them, and they help them to get back into the job market. Generally, the guys he's getting is from the civilian sector, but he's always willing to take anyone who's from a military background with any form of disability to help them out.
Yeah.
One of the things I've observed since we've been here, it's probably more local than anything, he's had about 5 visits, and I've got to say, everyone who's had visitors, from ex-councillors, a councillor, a former mayor in the local area, David Cox, and also an MP and a couple of other people from like Rotary societies. And what I observed, they're all ex-military or got military connections. Strange, you know. And one of them, a councillor, David, he's trying to push through to get Mel a lottery grant to help them fund, not to line his pockets with his co-directors, it's to help the people, you know, to upgrade their equipment.
Yeah.
So they get, you know, upgrade the computers, etc., which the people with disabilities use to upgrade their resumes and all this.
Yeah.
And the other thing, because me and Mel's been discussing the past couple of days what to say, obviously, getting this funding from the lottery will help people and also soldiers in the area who need, you know, in times of need, like soldiers off the street.
Yeah.
Mel and his guys, they're willing to give them furniture if they're in the Devon region, you know, setting up apartments and whatnot, so we all know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
One thing I can say for you, as you know, as you mentioned, I'm in the Philippines. I've been through the homeless thing myself for 6 months, and I've also had the PSDT after leaving the military. I worked in my choice, of course. I worked in the Bosnian region for 8 years
Yeah.
as a contractor. my choice, but see many bad things like most of us have. So I've been down that line where I've hit the drink problem. And what I focus my life on then, living in the Philippines, I help the needy, as Dave Tyndale does, Bill Murray does, Mel Mort, yourself through the Veterans Radio, and many other good people. One thing I'd like to say is people who are on the small scale seem to get very little help from the government. I won't say names, but it all seems to go to the larger organisations where they seem to get funding very easily. And the people who do it are the small businesses, as we mentioned, Dave Tyndale and his crew. You know, the people with the feet on the ground. Anyway, since we got the link with Mel, over the past year, from We Sorted, mainly in the Devon region, and help from David Cox and many other good people, they've sent me to the Philippines through our Filipino contact in London, who ships everything for free, around about 20,000 items, which is from books, computers, clothing, Zimmer frames. We kept 2 for me and Mel for stand by when I'm on a visit.
Yeah.
Wheelchairs and many other items, especially for Yolanda, which hit lately last year, if you remember.
Yeah.
Which I've had I won't say pleasure. I've been down there twice this year with my Filipino friends, and we've delivered the aid. And the beauty, not one penny is involved. Mel gets the items in Devon, takes them to London in his own time, transport, etc., shipped to the Philippines for free. I'm at the other end, pick it up in my backpack, and off I go with my Filipino mates.
Yeah. Now, all of this, and you mentioned the computers, the clothing, Zimmer frames, walking sticks, and everything else, sleeping bags. This is all stuff that would normally in this country go to the landfill.
Correct, yeah.
And Mel, with We Sort It and his contacts, I know Mel does things like house clearances. If somebody dies without a family,
yeah,
Mel and his team go in, they're contracted to go in and clean out the house, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Whilst I've been here, like Robert's been down here a few times, and people like Natalie from Canada's seen how Mel works.
Yep.
They've been on quite a lot of house clearance. I won't say names for obvious reasons.
Yep, fair play.
But in the past few weeks, whilst I've been here, we've been down to Plymouth region. Quite a sad affair. Myself, Mel, and a young lad. And the house has literally just been broken into about 10 hours before we got there by the police. And the body had been removed, and we had to go in and clear it up with a former veteran. The carpet was, can you believe it, and this is true, wet with blood still. And luckily, me and Mel, we've seen it in the military, as yourself and many others have.
Unfortunately, yes.
And, you know, it was pretty sad. And what our point was, we're packing the stuff away. We're checking of course, the civilian organisations have checked them for any living relatives, and no one was interested in the guy. 70 years old. He was a Royal Marine, this guy. We could tell by his kit bag, former RSM, Para-Marine badge the lot. And what got us was, we were packing his life away in these plastic bags. And with all the organisations, personally, me and Mel, we found it disgusting. No one cared about this guy. And as you've mentioned on your radio show many times, loneliness, suicidal, and all this, it's unbelievable.
It is a story that is very sadly all too often told, mate. Yes, and yes, we have spoken about it here on Veterans Radio Net. And again, unfortunately, it is something that will crop up time and time again. Yeah.
And this is going to be a shock, but this is no wind-up to you, Ken. So, you know, over the past year, even though me and Mel like a good crack and the odd moonshine and port and whatnot, we've been doing a lot of research. It's not related to the military, to be honest. We're doing a book on something which happened in the Philippines in the past. And we're writing the book. We've got all the contacts. We're pretty well ahead on it. And we expect, hopefully, a year today it'll go to get them published.
Yeah.
And if it does and it goes well, according to our forecast, we hope, with our little connections here and there. And one thing we do pledge, a donation of what we get, hopefully, God willing, will go to Soldiers Off the Street, Veterans Radio, and Veterans in Action. And that's not talk, that will be fact. If we receive money, which if the book gets sold, which we're hoping for.
Well, fantastic about that. Closer it gets to the point of publishing, please, with a capital P, use the Veterans Radio Net page to promote the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Keep me up to speed with it, and as I do with our mate Pablo and his musical Song for a Hero, we will publicise the hell out of it. And if you can, I will ask you at one point, please, mate, if you can get me a pre-published copy of it. I won't read the whole thing out, but I will select certain items out if you're okay with it. And I'll give people some, I'll read out some highlights from it, that sort of thing, to give it more publicity. Yes,
thanks a lot. And we'll even give you an autographed copy.
Well,
with a bottle of port.
Okay, mate. Thank you. You know what'll happen to the bottle of port. The book will get read, but you know what'll happen to the bottle of port. I won't spend much time reading the label. Sorry?
We were listening to the interview about the para.
Les Standish.
Yeah, and Mel just mentioned to me a few months ago, he actually did something similar down here in Payton.
Yes, he did.
He slept for about 3 days in his sleeping bag, just to do an observation, and no one seemed to care. Like living on the street. So what Mel suggested, while I'm down here, me and him, because we've got a lot to do for Remembrance Day, like many others.
Yeah.
After Remembrance Day, we'll probably try to do something similar for 3 or 4 days, just to advertise soldiers on the street.
Then fantastic, mate. Now I'm going to ask a question here, Mel and Michael. The 10th of November, Monday the 10th.
Yeah.
You got something happening on Monday the 10th?
I'll put you on the Mel for that.
Okay, mate. We'll put Mel back on then, and you and I can have another chat in a few minutes. All right, Michael?
I'm back on now, bruv.
All right.
Yeah, our good friend Graham, ex-Royal Navy, very, very good friend of ours who gives us a lot of support in We Sort It. Sadly, his stepfather died a couple of weeks ago. And on Monday the 10th of November, it's his funeral in Torquay Crematorium.
Okay.
And what we've arranged, Graham's arranged through the Royal British Legion, there'll be a pallbearer and an RAF flag. The guy was ex-RAF, and he deserves the most respect. He was in Suez. He got the Suez Canal Medal.
Okay, respect.
During the war. Luckily, myself, Michael, Graham and Robert Warburton will be at the service to pay our respects to him. If anyone in the local area wishes to attend, it's at 1 p.m. on Monday the 10th of November at Torquay Crematorium.
Okay, thank you for that, Mel. And if you put something...
stand outside, because there's not a lot of room in the crematorium itself for the service, but this guy doesn't have any blood relatives left. So it'd be nice just to send him off in the spirit of the Corps and the Army, the RAF, and the Royal Navy. It'd be great.
Yeah, respect due to a brother who earned it. Totally agree with you on that, fella. If you could please put something up on the...
We'll be all there. Yeah. And I'm hoping there'll be a few more people there to support us as well.
Okay.
To support him.
If you could stick something up on the Facebook page for me, on Veterans Radio Net Facebook, I will post the hell out of it around the contacts that we have here at Veterans Radio Net, mate.
Oh, that's brilliant. Ken, you're a gentleman and a scholar, and we're raising our glasses of port to you now. Good health, sir.
I wish I had something to raise back to you other than a cup of black coffee, but maybe a little later on this evening.
I know you've got that sneaky, cheeky whiskey in your bottom drawer, mate.
Mate, I've run out. Even that's gone. Even the emergency supply is dry at the moment.
Oh, Philip has not